anyone who is blinded by a man's potential, this is for you. Let me give you an analogy to put things to perspective. If I am fat and ugly, he would never choose me. So if he's not a gentleman with a provider mindset, I would not choose him either. Take it as you wish with that information. People often say looks don't matter or money isn't everything, but in reality, they do matter. Honestly, can you pay for food or meet your basic needs without money? As for looks, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it really goes beyond just being conventionally attractive. Do you maintain proper hygiene and take decent care of your health, not just for your partner, but rather for yourself? Listen up, we're all entitled to our preferences, but what you are not going to do is date someone who is not your type and make them feel inferior to others. That's just toxic, and I'm not here for it. After all, it's your job to stick to your standards and preferably date someone of a higher level, someone who can inspire you to become the best version of yourself. I'm talking about the innate qualities in a man. And no, I'm not talking about looks. Whoever is watching this right now, stop dating men based on looks. Of course, you should be attracted to your partner, but if looks is your top priority, you are in for a rude awakening. As far as I'm concerned, there are just way too many women who get caught up in a man's looks and end up chasing him, providing for him, giving him the princess treatment, and losing their worth in him. I won't deny the fact that being hot and attractive will get you a lot of attention, but honestly, that's just a bonus. What truly matters is your character that builds credibility. What makes you you? Just because someone is hot, it does not mean you have to tolerate poor treatment. Here comes the best part. Some men will manipulate you into doing something for them, especially after a date. I've been on dates with men that felt entitled to touch me just because they paid for a meal that I can easily pay for. A long time ago, I told a man off for trying to kiss me in his car when he drove me home. By the way, it was the first date. He sent me an apology with a paragraph of excuses as to why he did that, and still hoping for a second date to make it up to me. For me, that's a deal breaker, especially if I barely know him and he touched me without consent. It gives me the ick, and let me tell you something. The worst men are the ones that intentionally coerce women, especially insecure women, to sleep with them on the first date. Okay, I get it. It's normal to fall for this trap, especially if you're in your early 20s and have minimal experience in dating men. But once you reach a certain age with decent level of self-love and maturity, you will never allow that to happen. A man has to prove himself consistently that he's able to take care of you by providing for you, showering you with all the love, and treat you right. This is exactly why some insecure women hate on other women who are being spoiled by their partners because they have never been on the receiving end. Hence, this is a question for women who struggle to face the consequences of their choices. Babe, in the first place, why are you even accepting dates from such atrocious men who have the audacity to think they have access to your body just because you give them the time of the day? Let's break the cycle. If there is no exclusivity, what I mean by that is, if there is no legally binding contract that benefits you, such as a prenup, the relationship is not official. And let's be real, I know it's not entirely foolproof. Look, nothing is guaranteed in this world, but I would rather have an insurance policy than none. When a man comes into a woman's life, he is looking at the potential benefits he can gain from being with you. With that being said, most men choose to settle down because looking like a family man is more important than being one. They may go for a woman who is not exactly their type but fits the image of a perfect wife based on social norms. Especially if they're in a very high position such as CEO, they're more likely to marry someone that looks good on paper to elevate his marital and corporate status. Sadly, that's the harsh reality we're in. As I've mentioned in my previous episode, a married man with kids is seen as much more respectable and reliable than a single man in his 40s. He is also given more career opportunities to climb the corporate ladder. So let's pause for a moment and ask yourself, how can a man add value into my life? You would be surprised that most women don't think the same way. It's really frustrating to me when I see a woman jump into a relationship with a man knowing that he's not financially stable and, worst of all, emotionally unavailable, which indicates that he's not capable of having a committed relationship. Babe, are you trying to be his savior and raise him like his mom? By the way, that's a full time job and you should be paid for it. Unfortunately, what I've noticed over the years is that most women focus on a man's potential through rose tinted glasses instead of seeing what's right in front of them. In fact, when you point out all the red flags, most of them are aware, but they choose to be in denial because they see his potential based on the fantasy in their head. That's what I call delusional. Although I would not rule out the possibility that any man you date can turn out to be the next Elon Musk in 5 years. The point is, we are not focusing on his potential career, but rather his character that will never change. As a woman who thinks like a man, I can assure you that there is nothing worse than seeing my friends spiral over incompetent, questionable men who have done nothing for them but bring chaos and disaster. Do you really think he will change if you love him more? Let's say that he might have put up a front when you are dating him, being all sweet and romantic. But come on, he can't keep up with a facade for long. Once the mask is off, he is showing you exactly who he is. That's when you weigh the pros and cons of being with him. Remember, you will have to be accountable for every decision you make that concern your future. The truth is, smart women are attracted to men who can challenge them, inspire them, and embody qualities they admire. That goes without saying. A man who is constantly on the pursuit of being smarter, fitter, more ambitious, and driven to succeed often ignites a sense of respect and attraction that goes beyond superficial compatibility. A man should not only complement a woman's strength, but rather introduce new dimensions to her goals and dreams and give her his unconditional support. This dynamic encourages mutual growth and keeps the relationship exciting yet fulfilling. Not only does he provide her with love and security, it allows her to thrive in her feminine energy without having to compete or overcompensate the lack of it. Don't get me wrong, it does not mean that a woman is incapable of holding her own. But without this balance, the connection can feel one sided or stagnant. I used to be in a long term relationship where I felt like I've outgrown my partner in certain aspects due to a lack of his masculine energy that I never knew was the key to achieve balance. Eventually, I just want to say that seeking for perfection in a partner is clearly not the goal, but rather to look for someone who can provide a safe space and gently nudge you to step out of the comfort zone, as he prioritizes growth as much as you do. Most importantly, he maintains a strong, reliable presence that screams, I got you. Let me get this straight. Do you know that women who get the best treatment from men are the ones who are not afraid to lose them? They move through life with such confidence, and that radiates queen energy. Trust me, men can sense that energy from a mile away. As much as we should not be dating men who are struggling with their finances. Because, like I said, why should you fix a man and get his life in order when you are not his mom? I just want to put a disclaimer that dating a rich man does not guarantee financial abundance for the rest of your life. But the fact that he has acquired a certain level of wealth reflects his unique qualities, his values, his mentality, his character development, and so on. If his business crumbles one day, I would have no doubt that he's able to get back up and build his empire from the ground. Because if he has done it, he can do it all over again. After all, based on his track record, he has what it takes to be successful. But if a man is not in the right place mentally or spiritually, he would not be able to attain the level of success that requires his unwavering focus, discipline, perseverance, and dedication, especially in times of trials and tribulations. Money does not make a man, but what you should be repulsed is his broke mentality, because that defines his inability to lead, not with ego, but with love and care. And spoiler alert, men with a broke mentality always have a fragile ego. They say they want a traditional submissive wife who would attend to their needs without nagging, take care of the kids, clean the house, do the laundry, cook dinner after a long day at work, and on top of that, expect 50-50 from her. Studies have shown that when it comes to household responsibilities, women perform far more cognitive and emotional labor than men, especially when it comes to kids. Organizing a play date, sending them to enrichment classes, worrying about their progress in school, keeping track of their medical checkups, and ensuring that they're eating well may seem like small tasks, but they mount up over the years. Therefore, the concept of 50-50 was never in favor of women. For all the highly masculine provider men out there, this is for you. We will not forget the countless sacrifices you have been making daily to provide, to protect, and uplift your families, often behind the scenes, committing acts of service ever so willingly and silently without complaining about any of it. Because a real man sees that as fulfilling his responsibilities. For a woman to transform into an exceptional wife and mother at the same time, he must first create a safe space for her to thrive in her femininity so she can nurture herself as well as everyone around her in a loving environment. Don't you see how it honors both the divine masculine and divine feminine? It's 2025, so I can't believe I'm saying this, but a man's words mean nothing. Men don't respond to words, they only respond to action and inaction. If he really likes you, he will plan and ask you out on dates that he pays for consistently. He will also want to lock it down by asking you to be his girlfriend. No ifs, no buts. Talk is cheap. It literally costs him nothing to give you empty promises. Just like how anyone can say the right thing, but not everyone will do the right thing. And let's be real. At the end of the day, a man calling you babe means nothing. A man buying you flowers or expensive gifts means nothing. A man becoming your baby father means nothing. And to be honest, a man marrying you also means nothing. What truly matters is a man that genuinely respects, values, and supports you while also challenging himself to be better just to be with you. Whoever is watching this right now, maybe they will choose you and maybe they won't. But none of it matters if you choose yourself.
Thank you for watching and bye!